I want to tell you something that took me 15 years of being in rooms with genuinely wealthy people to understand fully. Wealth is not what most people think it is. Most people believe it is an outcome, the result of the right income, the right investment, the right break. And so they spend their energy chasing those things, believing the habits will follow naturally once the outcome arrives. They have it entirely backwards. The habits come first, the outcome follows. And the specific habits I am about to give you are almost never the ones discussed in popular media, because the ones that get discussed are the visible ones, the morning routines that get posted, the investment strategies that get published, the productivity systems that get sold. What I'm giving you today are the invisible ones, the ones I watched operate quietly, consistently, and without announcement across 15 years of moving through rooms where real, generational wealth was present, not performed. The 9 habits I'm giving you today are the invisible ones, the ones I watched operate quietly and without announcement across 15 years of moving through rooms where real wealth was present, not performed. Stay until the end. I have something waiting for you, the Elegant Morning Routine Checklist, a free gift for those who stay all the way through. Habit 1. They eliminate decisions before decisions eliminate them. Most people believe wealthy people are exceptional decision makers, sharper, faster, more decisive. The more consistent pattern I observed is something different entirely. They are not making more decisions, they are making dramatically fewer. Before I show you how, there is something you need to understand about what decisions actually cost. In my consulting years, I worked alongside a creative director overseeing 9 figures of annual revenue. Her wardrobe rotated through pre-decided combinations. Her lunch was one of 3 pre-selected options. Her calendar ran on standing rules. She had systematically eliminated low-stakes decisions so that high-stakes ones received the full cognitive resource they required. The research confirms exactly what I observed. Roy Baumeister's work on decision fatigue demonstrates that the quality of decisions degrades as the number of decisions made across a day increases. Judges grant parole less often late in the day. Physicians make worse choices near the end of a shift. Every decision is a withdrawal from a finite account, and the account depletes. Resolve. Pre-decide your 5 lowest stakes daily categories: what to wear, what to eat, when to check messages, how to sequence routine tasks, once on Sunday, and apply them as standing rules all week. This protects your highest quality thinking for the decisions that actually determine where your life goes. Before habit 2, the complete framework for building the daily standards that compound into genuine self-possession is exactly what our Undeniables complete system covers in detail. A complete blueprint for becoming healthier, calmer, more refined, and deeply self-possessed with age. It's linked in the description below, or scan the QR code on your screen. Habit 2. Real wealth spends on materials, never on logos. Most people assume wealthy people buy expensive things because of the brand name. This assumption is the precise reason most people who acquire money do not keep it. I'm going to show you the actual principle. But first, there is something you need to understand about what a logo actually signals. Across 15 years inside the luxury industry, the pattern was so consistent it became predictable. Women with new money bought logos, women with old money bought materials. A woman from a family with 3 generations of real wealth, choosing between 2 coats, would hold both, feel the weight, examine the weave, ask about the fiber. The label was the last thing she looked at. Behavioral economists studying conspicuous consumption found that visible logo signaling is most prevalent in populations with recently acquired wealth and most absent in populations with multi-generational wealth. A logo can be replicated or dated. A material, hand-woven cashmere, full-grain leather, French linen, ages into itself and becomes more itself over time. Resolve. Before any significant purchase, ask 2 questions. What is this made of? And will it hold its quality across 10 years? And if the brand name were removed, would I still want it? If either answer is no, you are buying performance. If both are yes, you are buying permanence. Habit 3. They shrink their network instead of expanding it. Everything you have been told about networking is calibrated for people trying to get somewhere. At the stage most wealthy people are actually operating from, that logic inverts, and the most successful people I observed were deliberately making their circles smaller. But first, there is something you need to understand about what a large network actually costs. A woman who runs a private equity fund in Midtown told me directly, "I stopped going to networking events 10 years ago. Every significant professional relationship I have was built at a dinner table with fewer than 8 people." Sociologist Mark Granovetter's research confirms the underlying dynamic. The decisions that produce the most significant professional outcomes are almost always made by people with whom you have strong ties. Strong ties require investment. Investment requires time. Time is finite. A network of 300 weak connections produces less of what actually matters than 50 curated relationships with 15 deep ones. Resolve. Audit your social commitments this month. For each one, ask, is this building depth or simply maintaining breadth? Begin declining the breadth obligations and redirecting that time toward relationships where genuine mutual investment is possible. The quality of your 5 closest relationships will predict more about your next 10 years than the size of your contact list. Habit 4. They treat sleep as a financial asset, not a luxury. Sleep deprivation is worn as a badge in most professional cultures. This belief is not only physiologically wrong, it is financially costly in ways now documented specifically enough to treat as a balance sheet item. But first, there is something you need to understand about what sleep loss does to economic decision-making. Research published in the journal Sleep found that 17 hours of sustained wakefulness produces cognitive impairment equivalent to a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. And critically, the impaired individuals consistently rated their own performance as unaffected. The sleep-deprived brain cannot accurately assess its own degradation. A venture capitalist I know in New York told me the single non-negotiable in his firm's partner agreement was a standing rule: no term sheets signed after 8 p.m. The cost of a poor investment decision made in a depleted state far exceeded any opportunity cost of waiting until morning. My own lights are out by 10:30, protected as deliberately as any board meeting. Resolve. Set one protected sleep boundary tonight, a time at which screens go off and no further decisions are made, and hold it as a standing rule. The return on your output and decision quality the following day will make the case more clearly than any research I can cite. The next step is the full blueprint, the Undeniables Complete System. 7 complete guides covering identity, presence, first impressions, social mastery, wellness, standards, and your morning ritual. Everything the most elegant, vital, and undeniable version of you needs built into one system for less than a dinner out. It is linked in the description or scan the QR code on your screen. Habit 5. They buy back their own time aggressively. Most people believe buying back time is something you do once you can afford it. Wealthy people operate from a completely different framing. Time is the primary asset, and the question is never whether you can afford to buy it back. It is what it is costing you not to. But first, there is something you need to understand about what an hour of your time is actually worth. A woman who ran operations for a significant family office explained it directly. Every successful person I know has calculated their effective hourly rate and uses it as a filter for every task they consider doing themselves. If the task can be done by someone else for less than your effective rate, doing it yourself is a financial loss. Harvard Business School research confirmed the principle. People who spent money to buy time reported significantly higher life satisfaction than those who spent equivalent amounts on material goods, and the effect held across all income levels. It was never about affordability. It was about the decision to treat time as the primary resource. Resolve. Calculate your effective hourly rate. Then examine every recurring task that someone else could perform and ask whether doing it yourself makes financial sense. Outsource one task per month that fails that test, starting with the one costing you the most energy for the least return. Habit 6. They practice invisibility in their own health decisions. Most people make health decisions reactively when something goes wrong. Wealthy people make them proactively and, more importantly, privately. This is not simply preventive care. It is a discipline of information management most people have never considered as a strategic practice. But first, there is something you need to understand about why health information is a strategic asset. I track specific biomarkers on a regular schedule: hormones, inflammatory markers, metabolic indicators, and adjust nutrition, sleep, and supplementation based on results, not symptoms. And I do not discuss the specifics with most people in my life. The wealthiest people I moved alongside in my professional world manage their health the same way: rigorously, privately, and with the best available expertise. A woman known to be managing a health challenge in a professional environment will, however, unfairly be assessed differently in decisions about appointments and responsibilities. Health vulnerability is information. Information in the wrong hands produces outcomes no one benefits from. Resolve. Build a relationship with a physician whose practice is preventive rather than reactive. Know your biomarkers before symptoms require you to. And manage your health information with the same discretion you would manage any other strategic asset. Sovereignty over your own body and its information is a form of power. Habit 7. They treat privacy as self-protection, not secrecy. We live in a culture that has made disclosure a virtue. The wealthiest people I know share less about their lives, their finances, and their plans than almost anyone else in their social world. This is not a personality trait. It is a calculated practice with a specific protective function. But first, there is something you need to understand about what information does once it leaves you. My divorce was handled privately. The people who knew were the people who needed to know. Deliberately, not incidentally. Research from New York University on goal disclosure found that sharing a goal publicly produced a premature sense of completion. The social acknowledgement of the intention substituted psychologically for the achievement of the outcome. People who shared their goals were measurably less likely to achieve them. Privacy protects the plan by keeping the energy inside it, which is exactly what our Undeniables Complete system covers in detail. The identity standards and daily practices that protect your presence, your privacy, and your authority at every level. It's linked in the description below. Resolve. Establish one standing rule. Share outcomes, not processes. Share completions, not intentions. Share selectively with people whose counsel you actively seek, not broadly with people whose reactions you are managing. This is not secrecy, it is self-respect. Habit 8. They rehearse bad news before it happens. Most people manage adversity reactively, responding from whatever emotional state the surprise has produced, which is almost never the state best suited to resolving it. The calmest people I have ever watched move through difficulty were not calm because nothing had gone wrong. They were calm because they had already been there, mentally, before it happened. But first, there is something you need to understand about why rehearsing adversity is not pessimism. Every evening, I journal one question. What is the worst credible outcome of what I am currently working on, and am I at peace with it? If not, I think through what I would do, whom I would call, what I would prioritize, before the downside arrives. This practice has a name in Stoic philosophy: Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of adversity. Psychological research on defensive pessimism confirms its value. People who mentally work through negative scenarios before they occur perform significantly better under pressure than those who maintain unrealistic optimism. A woman who chairs the audit committee of a publicly traded company told me, "I never enter a difficult board conversation without having rehearsed the 3 worst things that could be said to me." Composure requires preparation. Resolve once a week. Identify the most significant risk currently present in your life. Write the realistic worst-case outcome. Then write exactly what you would do if it occurred. This does not prevent the outcome. It ensures that if it arrives, you arrive at it composed rather than ambushed. Habit 9. They let their standards do the talking, never their opinions. Most people believe influence comes from having strong opinions, clearly expressed and consistently defended. The most genuinely influential people I observed across 15 years do not lead with their opinions. They lead with their standards. The distinction between those two things is everything. But first, there is something you need to understand about what an opinion costs and what a standard builds. An opinion says, "I think this is wrong." A standard says, "Under my watch, we do not do this." An opinion invites debate. A standard closes it. A board member I know, one of the quietest people in any room she enters, told me, "If I'm in a room where I have to argue for something I believe in, I'm in the wrong room. My standards are demonstrated, not defended." Research on social influence confirms this. People who demonstrate consistent behavior over time are perceived as more trustworthy and more influential than those who communicate positions verbally but inconsistently in practice. Standards are credible because they are observable. Opinions are cheap because they are only audible. Resolve. Stop explaining your standards. Start enforcing them. Every decision consistent with who you have decided to be, regardless of pressure, regardless of convenience, builds authority no argument can touch. Over years, the accumulation of those consistent decisions becomes the most powerful thing you own, a reputation that precedes you into every room before you arrive. Here is the complete system in full. Habit 1. Eliminate low-stakes decisions to protect the cognitive resource your most important choices require. Habit 2. Spend on materials, never logos. Buy permanence, not performance. Habit 3. Shrink the network and deepen what remains. Strong ties produce what weak ties never can. Habit 4. Protect sleep as a financial asset. The return shows up in every decision made the following day. Habit 5. Buy back your time aggressively. It is the only resource that does not replenish. Habit 6. Manage health proactively and privately. Sovereignty over your own body is a form of power. Habit 7. Treat privacy as self-protection. Share outcomes, not processes. Habit 8. Rehearse adversity before it arrives. Composure is preparation, not personality. Habit 9. Let your standards do the talking. Consistent behavior over time builds authority no opinion ever can. None of these require wealth to begin. They require decision, and decision, held consistently, is where wealth begins. To put these habits into a morning practice that makes them daily, rather than occasional, go get the Elegant Morning Routine checklist from the link in the description. Every ritual that anchors these standards from the moment you wake. Free, right now for you. The link is in the description below. Go get it now. You came here for 9 habits. What you are leaving with is a complete operating system, and that changes everything you do from this morning forward. I'll see you in the next one. 𝐈𝐬𝐴.